Breaking Down the Law is sponsored by Battle-Born Injury Lawyers.
The nation closely watching the arrest of British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, the former girlfriend to accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. She faces a slew of charges in relation to her association with Epstein, including sexual abuse against minors. The big question, though, is will she expose and implicate others to avoid any type of punishment? His attorney Matt Hoffmann with Battle-Born Injury Lawyers to break it down. This story is just captivating the nation, and we're all waiting to see if she's going to spill the beans. What would be the benefit to that, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, this is a conspiracy theorist's dream come true. Here you have the closest associate to Jeff Epstein, who was allegedly involved in a huge pedophile ring and sex trafficking. She's looking at, 35 years in prison, if not more, which is essentially the rest of her life. So she has every motivation in the world, you would think, to cooperate. The allegations and the interest in this case is that people have said that there's this pedophile ring, there's a sex trafficking ring, and that very high-profile, powerful people were involved and implicated in it. And it's been speculated that the true source of Mr. Epstein's wealth was because of this, because of his, he has blackmail, and that he and Miss Maxwell have been blackmailing people, high-level people, and that they're sitting on a treasure trove, including her, sitting on a treasure trove of documentary evidence, video evidence implicating high-profile people. Prince Andrew's name has been put out there. Former President Clinton's name has been put out there. A lot of celebrities are on the flight logs. So this has a lot of interest with people thinking, will she cooperate?
And if she does, the charges against her, I think, make most of us cringe.
Yeah.
What type of bargain could they offer for someone if she's convicted of doing something so atrocious?
Well, I mean, look, personally, I think that if you line everything up of what's happened leading up to the arrest and how it's being handled, I think that there might already be an agreement in place. So remember a few weeks ago, Attorney General Barr fired the prosecutor for the Southern District of New York. And it was a little strange. It was seen as political. Well, then she gets arrested. And where do you think her case is? It's with the Southern District of New York. And the new prosecutor is basically known as being incorruptible, somebody with no longstanding political ties, like the former prosecutor. In addition, within the Southern District of New York, a sex crime like this, a case like this, would normally be like organized crime, sex trafficking. But this case is part of the public corruption team. Well, that indicates that there might be some kind of, public official being implicated or multiple public officials being implicated in this case. And then the third thing is that Miss Maxwell is a citizen of the United States, the United Kingdom, and France. And we know that, like Roman Polanski has been living in France out in the open for 40 years and has been extradited. Why on earth would she be here in the U.S. when she clearly doesn't have to be? And when you add that all up, it really strongly suggests that she may already have been working with the feds and that this is all kind of preordained. Conversely, she could argue her lawyers could just feel very strongly because of the 2008 plea deal that Mr. Epstein entered into that gave immunity to any of his co-conspirators. And she might just come in and say, I have immunity. But from the charges, I don't think that's the case. And I tend to agree with the conspiracy theorists on this one. I think there might be a lot to this.
There is a lot of meat to this story. It's no doubt something we're going to be following for quite some time. We appreciate the legal perspective as always. Matt, thank you for being on the show.
All right, thanks.